Hi guys, welcome to Reality React channel. In this channel, we watch reality TV shows to react, recap, and further fun of it. And today we are seeing Uthando Nes'Thembu season 8, episode 9. And it starts where Mseleku was meeting up with MaKhumalo and they were discussing the issue of MaKhwela and the fact that MaKhwela is from Umzumbe as well. And she indicates that so it's the same area that MaKhumalo is from, and MaKhumalo says that he's already broken the promise of him saying that, and he promised this thing without MaKhumalo asking, saying that he will not marry from someone from the same area as the areas that his wives are coming from. And now he has broken that, and she knows MaKhwela. She knows, she was even indicating that she comes from some shop, behind some shop, and the fact that MaKhwela also knows all the wives that Mseleku have. And it sounds like MaKhumalo as well is blaming MaKhwela to say that she knew who Mseleku is, and the fact that she is marrying him. She's sort of like, as much as she keeps saying she doesn't want to get involved in that marriage, but you can, from what she's saying, one can deduce the fact that she doesn't like the fact that MaKhwela is marrying, and she also refers to MaKhwela as ingane. And I'm like, but this is the thing that she doesn't like Mayeni to say. And she is, last year she was 35, and she's also talking to Mseleku about IVF and embryo freezing, and the fact that he will need to retain the quality of sperms that they are going to use for IVF. And in order to do that, one needs to abstain for like 2 weeks before that procedure, and as a man, so that they can get quality, yeah. And then he is saying that, and she asked him, how are you going to do this with 5 wives? At least when you still had 4, maybe it was going to be manageable. And then Mseleku, in his diary sessions, he still reiterated the fact that MaKhwela is already old, so she wouldn't mind this process being done, and her not getting, and him not getting intimate with MaKhwela. And with Mayeni will suspect that he's up to something. And then with Mangwabe, obviously Mangwabe will be fine with it. She doesn't mind. And I'm like, so why is he not including MaKhwela? So people who keep saying that MaKhwela is an actor and all of that, and now she's not part of this family per se, because if we are right, these diary sessions get recorded after they have done recording the show itself, right? So why is she not being included? And she's still young. And when MaKhumalo asked, how will this girl feel with you abstaining, and when she's new in the marriage, she's going to leave you? And then she now tries to ask such questions, and then in a diary session she reprimands herself and say, why am I even involving myself in this type of questioning, or in this type of thoughts that have nothing to do with me, because they've already done it. So she already knows Mseleku naked, and she knows in that department that she's satisfied. That's why she's marrying him. And I'm like, MaKhumalo does not know that people can marry just for the sake of marriage or for money, not because in that department things are going well. And then before I forget, like when he was talking about the IVF process with MaKhumalo, he says that in the past he was not pro it, but now he has seen the fact that MaKhumalo really wants this, and the fact that she has gone into details doing the research and everything else that she needed to do. So that's why she wants to do this. And I'm like, in the past, maybe it's because you had to pay for the IVF, and now because MaKhumalo can now afford to pay for her IVF, and I'm assuming she can afford to pay because she is also paying for things that do not even involve her, like the other women's insurance and everything else that he asked for. So she pays for those. So obviously, maybe even then it was not because it was so traditional and all of that. So he approves this thing because now this lady can afford to pay for it herself. That's my thinking process. Maybe then it was finances, and also explaining to the other wife that the other wife will need close to 100,000 for this process, and maybe they are going to be cutting off their allowances and all of that. So now there's no need to do that because now she can afford. In the next scene, MaKhwela is visiting Sneh, and she goes into Sneh's house, and she says that the reason why she's there is because Lwandle told her that the house needs to be renovated, and he was right because it looked clean, except for the glasses that were sitting there old and all of that, and I understand why they were sitting outside the cupboards, because the cupboards do not have are broken as well, the windows and some of the ceiling, that makes it dangerous for someone to be staying in there. I think they just need to take it out because it's not safe. It could fall on any of Sneh's kids if they visit, or even herself. So those are the type of things that MaKhwela saw, and she was saying that she was talking to Sneh once Sneh gave her the cold drink, and she was talking to Sneh about how even when she didn't want to be taken care of by MaKhwela tried to force her to be her child because because of how she grew up. She comes from an East Tembu type of family. So I think this is why she was opened to the idea of marrying someone who is into that type of relationship. So she says that the reason why it was is because her father had a lot of kids, and because her father had a lot of kids, they were all not, you wouldn't tell that this is MaKhumalo's child, this is MaKhwela's child, because they all grew up together with unity and all of that. That's what Mseleku is looking to do. And she was also talking about the fact that Sneh and Mpilo do not use the same surname as the other kids. And she also says that she wants their father, Mseleku, to be the one that leads that type of conversation to happen between Sneh's grandparents and the Mselekus, because she thinks that, and Sneh jokes and say that it's because you don't want to be involved in when it's not your child. And I'm like, sort of makes sense in this case, because we remember the other time when MaKhumalo was the one leading the conversation for Mpilo to change the surname. So those are the type of, I think maybe they're not probably just joking, but it could feel like they are throwing a jab about Sneh going to see a psychologist, because it feels like she could benefit from doing that. And that's what I was trying to say yesterday, that Mseleku needs to find out what is causing Sneh to behave the way she had been behaving. And then also they talk about the fact that Sneh is not supposed to bring boys to their house, and I'm like, and she's like, no, I never. That's the only thing that I wouldn't do. And I'm like, go Sneh. Means that she has the right. She has an understanding of the type of family she comes from, in terms of that they are so traditional and all of that, and they are sticking their rules around those type of things. So I get where she's coming from. And then when MaKhwela brings the psychologist thing, she says that she's not interested in that, and she tells MaKhwela to actually go, because she feels like she doesn't want to partake in that conversation. So in the next scene, we see the Celes family visiting MaKhwela and Mseleku, and they have their brother as well, and their brother is dancing there and singing songs around the bottle that they were given. And then the sisters now want to go and chat with Mseleku, and they are telling him that, you remember the time when MaKhwela was, when you were getting the second wife, you gave your mother-in-law a cow, and then they want to continue with that tradition, because Mseleku did not continue with the tradition when he married Mayeni, MaKhumalo, and Mangwabe, and now they want to add this new wife into the scheme of things, to say now you will require to give the Celes families the 4 cows because you that's the tradition that you started. And I wonder, how does that work? So is this like lobola, you're lobolaring the first wife twice, and because he has the other wives as well, will he need to be giving them cows as well? How does that work? Or was Mseleku just being respectful in terms of or needed the Celes families to convince MaKhwela to say go on with these Istembu ideas of his? And I'm now thinking, when was Mseleku married? Because if it's true that they married in 2001 with MaKhwela and with Mayeni in 2007, 2005, when was the new wife? So how long was she in that marriage that the cows were being added? Or it was because he was not done paying lobola for her? And how does this culture thing work? But anyway, Mseleku says that he won't argue with them because he needs them in his support for this Istembu of his. And I remember the other time he was not really, he was talking badly about his in-laws, saying that he does, not the Celes though, some other in-laws, that he doesn't need their approval to continue with this thing. But now he had asked the other in-laws, and now that in the Celes in-laws wants extra cows. How does this thing work? Hi. So then Mseleku says that he would like to give them something as a show to appreciate the family and the fact that they are part of the reasons why MaKhwela is still around, because they have talked to her to stay and be in the marriage. And then they bring a ship for the sisters to present to the sisters, and they usually they're excited about the thing. And then MaKhwela in her diary sessions that Mkhulu Bey is so serious, and I think this would just makes their heart, because it seems like they are very happy with Mseleku. Now they start joking about whether Ipen is a bala or whether Ipen still has ink, and then how and because MaKhwela has finished all the ink in Mseleku's pen, and how the new wife will be the one that sees how she will go about this thing. Because and also she says that she wants to go and prepare food and also call the rest of the people to meet the new wife. The new wife comes in. She has her aunt and her sister, and she's saying that she can't believe that she is meeting these so many people. She was maybe thinking it's just going to be the kids and not everyone else. And then when the kids comes, before I go to the kids, also Mseleku says it was difficult to choose the wife, because he, as much as he wanted to choose someone who resembles his, so he has a type who resembles his wives, he wanted someone who has courage to stand in this type of situation, because he doesn't want he wanted someone who is who also understands the type of situation that she's gonna find herself in this type of Istem. And also on the time on the diary session he had with MaKhumalo, he said that these wives hold on to the things that you have said and they don't want to let it go. And I'm like, but that's your word. And also MaKhumalo said that he didn't ask, she didn't ask him to say all of those things, to promise that he won't marry from the same village that his wife's villages or towns that his wife comes from. And I'm just like, and then so whose word are they supposed to hold on to? And it means that your word can't be trusted. So as the kids are meeting the new wife, Sneh says they know each other. It's Kim Sake. And then Pilonte in her diary session says that she can't believe that this girl is her friend, and she never thought to mention that I'm going to be your mom. Like, I'm like, okay. So if this girl is also friends with Mpilo and Sneh, what's happening there by Mseleku? So these people got to play together, and then Yena, he saw a wife. Like, what is happening? I am just like, I feel like it would make sense if they didn't know each other with his kids, because now how are they going to view her as a mom? So what's going to happen in this kid's life? Why is he trying? Why is he wanting to confuse his children and cause commotion? It's not this. It's not gonna bring unity, and it's not going to. Oh, and also when MaKhwela was welcoming her, she spoke about the peace of the peace one has to have with the Lord. She opens with a verse, Philippians 4 verse 7, and I'm just like, how is this peace going to be maintained when the kids are going to look at their friends as the person who's sleeping with their dad? Like, what is happening there by Mseleku's house? I feel like this guy, he's just causing chaos in his life. The same way he's acknowledging the fact that he makes promises and then he breaks them and then he get confused. It's the same way now he wants to these kids to accept someone they grew up with to be their mother. What is wrong with him? Thank you guys for watching this recap, and I will see you guys in the next one.